All right, I'm just going to try doing a live stream this time just to make it quicker and easier on me to actually publish these things. So I doubt most of you will be on with me live, but if you are, welcome. And yeah, hopefully this works. I'm RangaDad. This is my view on the crypto market in particular. We like to have a look at all the markets just to see which way the general economy is going, which can certainly help with the crypto trading as well. So this isn't financial advice, this is just the way I'm seeing the market, but hopefully it helps. And let's get straight into it. I haven't got chat up at the moment, I'm just working off one screen, so feel free to post some questions and stuff, and I might get to them in the next video. I'll sort that out for the next one. All right, so today I'll just go back to QQQ. Reasonably positive day on the markets. One thing with the markets is, to me, it's all about momentum. And at the moment, the momentum is still to the downside. And as you can see here, you get a big pump, a little pump, and then a little bit of action. We're not really making significant inroads to higher highs here. And as you can see, with any of these sort of tops here, you can see it sort of just start to taper off, and then it'll come back and then potentially go again. But you're sort of looking for, potential for big changes to the upside and potential for big changes to the downside. At the moment, we seem to be cooling off a little bit. We're going to come into some resistance here with the moving average there. And look, generally with war happening, you'd expect some, over time, some upside, and then potentially come back down again or just keep going. So I've actually got a meeting to go to. I'll very quickly go and have a look at the S&P. Similar sort of story. Needs to break through this resistance, which was support. IWM is pretty similar. Until we reclaim this 210 mark on IWM, I am still looking at more sort of sideways and down potentially. There's a bit of a double bottom there still. We'll keep an eye on this. I'm not going to sort of look at this too often, but if this gets up to zero, then we know there's something going to happen. There's going to be a major market correction. But at the moment, I think this is probably a good area for some sort of short-term upside. I think once this breaks through, maybe then we'll get more upside. But this is percent of stocks above the 50-day moving average, and it's still in a downtrend as well. So we'll go straight over to Bitcoin, because Bitcoin, it looks like we've liquidated any sort of highly leveraged longs with that wick there the other day. As I said yesterday, this needs to basically pump from here. If it broke below this trend line, then we were looking pretty bad. But it looks like the market's decided let's go for a bit of a run. So I would actually be expecting this to come up and touch on that 45,500-ish mark, that resistance there. So Bitcoin's generally looking good. It might do another sort of little pullback to this sort of level again and then go. We might be forming a bit of a triangle here, a bit of a wedge. But yeah, look, I think there's going to be a good trade up to this sort of region and then potentially pull back to resistance or that trend line. And then go again probably, hopefully. Ethereum, similar sort of story, same thing really. I'd probably be putting in a short-term one up to the 3,000 mark, and then it might do a little pullback and then go again. But looking pretty strong. Luna is still going mental. Go Luna go. I freaking wish I actually had some at the moment. Luna's just announced like a $50 billion Bitcoin backing for its UST stablecoin. So it seems to be pumping on the news of that. As I've said before on this channel, I really like Luna, but it looks like it's got some pretty good fundamentals. Yeah, DVDX. Most of these, we've got them in the trading spreadsheet, the paper trading spreadsheet. Generally, the market seems to be liking that same sort of trend line. Not all of them, but a lot of them are doing similar stuff. So actually a very, very green day on crypto today. So we may be finding the bottom here, at least in the short term. As I said yesterday, one of the key indicators here that we've got to be aware of, not necessarily, like, doesn't necessarily mean just down from here, but certainly the MACD, which I'll just bring that up. There. So the MACD here on the monthly, whenever we've had a monthly MACD cross to the downside, we've had further downside and quite significant downside. I mean, that there was 2018, we had quite a bit of downside there. So that's just on that mark there. Downside down to that 3,000-ish mark. Another one just here, which saw a bit of a pump after. You know, that's a pretty good pump, 3,000 odd. That's basically a 50% jump. And then back down to quite low again, retested that sort of 4,000-ish mark. So, and then onwards and upwards from there. So it's just one to be careful of on the monthly MACD. Again, if you look at this, it doesn't mean that it's down only. There normally is a little bit of a pump around that same sort of time, and then it'll pull back and find its bottom. You know, MACD is just one indicator. It's one that I find isn't 100% reliable all the time. It has been on the money with Bitcoin so far on the monthly, but it's not necessarily 100% accurate. And there is a lot of different stuff going on with crypto at the moment, a lot of different adoption, and there's not much Bitcoin on exchanges and things like that. So, you know, I'm expecting a bit of upside here, potentially up to that 52, maybe not straight away, but that would be a reasonable target. And then I'd be a bit wary. Just keep an eye on the news and see what's happening. The governments may use this, what's happening in Ukraine, to actually try and suppress crypto. There might be some policies that are going to come out. That's certainly what everyone's looking at in the news. So just be a bit careful. Don't expect it to go up always. Look, a lot of these are doing big pumps. Polka. Look, this one here I expect to go pretty well in the long term. So nearly 20. That's a 20% pump. You know, it doesn't look like much, but that's a 20% pump. If we go from where we are now just to these sort of highs here, you're talking about another 50%. That's why I like the shit coins. Especially ones where I think they've got a good future and a good product. So a lot of these, I think we might be seeing some bottoms here. Veracity, yeah, it's going pretty good. All right, that's all I was going to do for today. I hope this helps. I'll try and catch you tomorrow.